wild ones, I'm Val York and welcome to another episode of Clubz. Tonight we will be getting more and more information about the lockouts and what can we do to help. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Valerie. Now this is Andrew again from LeclubZ. Speaking about the lockout laws, now the first issue with lockout laws is jobs, jobs and jobs. Now even though the police have certainly said that the lockout laws have reduced violence, they have certainly impacted a lot of people in terms of their jobs. The industry, the clubbing industry themselves, the people who work in the bars, those who manage the clubs, those who actually the bouncers or even the security, and even the fast food outlets a lot of the students go to after. A lot of these industries have been affected by this.
Fortitude Valley in Brisbane, in Melbourne, that lockouts don't work. DJs performing late into the evening did not have the people following them because after 1:30 they couldn't go and watch their favourite set.
From those changes, King's Cross has now got the toughest laws, liquor licence laws in Australia, without a shadow of a doubt. King's Cross has 10 strike conditions that aren't in the Liquor Act for other premises in New South Wales.
But of course, with every new law, there will be changes and there will be impacts. So what we need to do is understand what those impacts are.
If we're looking at alternatives to these lockout laws, and as I said, lockouts are proven in Melbourne and Brisbane and other places overseas as not being effective. A lockout just creates conflict and stops people from lawfully going to a premises after 1:30 in the morning. That just creates conflict for bar staff, for security staff at the door of venues when they're not letting sober people from going into a venue. What we need to see are things like high visibility policing, better transport. You've got the trains stopping in Sydney at 1:44 in the morning and not starting again until 5:14. And so you've got people being locked out at 1:30, then ceasing alcohol service at 3 a.m, right across the board. So what you see is a sea of people moving into the streets of Sydney, but nowhere to go. There is no transport. There are no sufficient taxis. The bus service is underutilised between King's Cross and the Sydney CBD, and there aren't any trains. So what you end up with is conflict on the street. And that's where these assaults have happened, remember. We've seen these assaults in George Street and up in King's Cross at all hours of the evening, and they're on the public street. They're not in licensed venues. Licensed venues have achieved a 30 or more % reduction in alcohol-related assaults in the last 15. They're at their last 15 years.
The second set of conditions came through on the 6th of December 2013 and included the temporary banning orders linked to ID scanners, which were finally implemented in June of 2014. And long-term banning orders, privacy training obviously for the staff to operate the ID scanners once they were implemented. And there was also then in July 2014, there were further drink restrictions linked to the previous bill when the CBD plan of management came into place, and also the most ramifications for all premises was the licence conditions implemented in February 2014 via way of the lockouts and the cease service at 3 a.m. And obviously those two items in King's Cross, certainly linked with the ID scanners, has created a big downturn in business, and that's the issue here. Is
So we are pleased that there's been a reduction in violence. I have to say some of the taxi drivers that I talk to have said that the streets are a bit quieter now, particularly after 3 a.m. in the morning, and that the demand for taxi services is a little bit earlier and a little bit more intense, particularly around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. when the lockouts take effect. What we're doing as an industry is we're looking at these impacts and we're working with government and other stakeholders like the club industry, like the pub industry, the Hotels Association, to see how these impacts can be managed. We want to get you home safely, but we've also got to make a living as well. And so it needs to be sustainable. And that's what we need to do together to make sure that we can have opportunities where you can have fun, go out clubbing, enjoy really good times with your friends, and then get home safely. And out of that, we can perform our role.
The problem is that these laws have been introduced, and in January the sitting of Parliament introduced these laws unanimously. So if we're talking about how to change these laws, it has to come from the people. It has to come from the patrons that want to go out at night. It has to come from the DJs that want to perform during the hours of the night. They're the ones that have to actually go to their local member. They're the one that voted for this unanimously. Industry associations such as ours can lobby on their behalf, but the real change will come when the people demand that they're able to go out at night, particularly when the vast majority of people do not commit any offences, and we're at a 15-year low in relation to alcohol-related assaults in and around licensed venues. So it's got to come from the people that we get these changes. You know, the patrons that want to go out at night are the ones that have to virtually tell their local members, we need to have our time out at night, and we're law-abiding, so why should we be tarnished with the brush of the few that commit offences?
In Tross itself, over 500 jobs have been lost. They're direct jobs. They're direct jobs between the actual premises that have been imposed with these conditions. Furthermore, there's premises now that are closing by the week. We've had 2 closed in the last 2 weeks. One of those premises in particular has been operating as a nightclub for 30 years. That club itself, with the lockouts imposed, lost 60% of its trade because of the lockouts at 1:30. We believe that no business, no employee should, as a result of the implementation of this bill, should lose their job. The roll-on effect for this is that musicians, DJs, cleaners, security guards, managers, experienced managers, staff have all lost their jobs. That's the reality.
We heard from a variety of different people with a variety of different opinions and solutions. Now, if this affects you, you can get involved or like the Facebook page of the club.
Next, we're going to be opening up the vault again. What will we find in there? Stay tuned and check it out.
Hey guys, I'm Saf. So first up, you got your USB for music. You will put it in this slot here. The bottom knob is your lower bass. I'll show you what it does when you take it all off. So it takes the bass out. These are the channels. So this is the CDJ, it's plugged into the channel 2. So that's playing, and this here is your master volume. I'm doing this as I go. So where was I? So you got your track playing, I turn it down, it's obviously like up to full level. You swap the basses, and then you just kind of like gently mix this one down. I will show a demonstration actually, hold on. We're counting the bars, so it's still kind of not the right bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use your headphones. You see what's happening, that's why we use headphones technically, because we beat match it in our headphones first. Hey guys, so tonight I have a special guest DJ with me, Mr. DID, and he's going to show you a bit about our basic effects on the mixer. Take it away.
Hey going guys, so over here we've got your effects panel. You want to go to this knob here and choose the channel you're going to effect on. Then you're going to go down here, and that's your on and off switch for your effect. And you've got your level of effect. Okay, so we've got delay for the first one. So basically all the delay does is just delays the beat. Usually I'm throwing a colour effect, which is the colour effects up on this side of the mixer. So any one of these that you press on, you control it with this knob here. So one that gets used a lot is your filter. So it cuts out all the lows if you turn it that way. And it'll cut out all the highs if you turn it that way. So you can basically use those together. Sounds pretty cool, I reckon. So that's your delay. You got your echo. Echo is another one that gets used a lot.
My favourite.
One of the Sass's favourites. So basically that just sort of like the delay, but it use it, pull down your fader and it goes out.
Yeah, that's cool for transitioning when you got the next track, you dropped in the track and you want to build the other track into your breakdown. That's the echo is the way to go with that one.
You can do like, you can even switch it over to the other deck that's not done. And you sort of do that effect with it. So that's your echo. What else we got? We got just another basic one is your trans. So up here you've got auto and you've got tap. So pretty much always leave it on auto, and that's just going to automatically pick up the BPM, which is 123. And you want to try and hit your effect in time with the beat as you would queuing up another track. So that just sort of cuts it up.
Gives it a bit of a
Yeah.
edge.
Bit of compression.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty cheesy effects up the top here. The flanger.
Flanger.
Okay. So the flanger.
Don't use this one, but we'll show you what it does.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, you can hear it, it's like...
You can change the rate that it goes up to. You got the phaser, which is pretty much the same, just got a different sound to it.
Actually better, it's got more of a...
Yeah, but best not to use that too much.
Yeah, a lot of DJs overuse it, they just like flange over the track where it's not needed. Yeah. It's not really my thing anyway.
I don't really use much of these ones, but you got your robot. It sort of changes goes real deep. It's actually good with the microphone. When you have your microphone plugged in, you can actually put the robot effect on your voice, and you can get like a really deep voice, or you can get like a really high pitched voice, which sounds pretty cool. Yeah, any of the effects you can use with the microphone, so you can echo while you're emceeing, you can echo your voice, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then you've got your roll, which is like you can loop one section of the track. So if you want to do a 4-bar loop, just wait. Okay, 1 bar.
Oh, so you can do like a little film up kind of thing. Yeah. To roll. Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like there's some numbers in there, but they're not really.
I like to use the reverb. We didn't really talk about the reverb. So basically, mainly when I'm mixing out, it kind of gives it a nice build up, spreads out the sound, as the reverb does, and then you kind of like bring the channel down. So yeah, that's pretty much all it does. But it's cool. And yeah, what else can we talk about? We've got also the colour.
Yeah, so you get your colour effects as well, which is let's use the fair
And then
crush.
we use every channel's got its own own knob.
Yeah. So say if you wanted to use the noise effect on
I like this
another
one. I
channel.
don't know if it's cheesy or not, but I
So
like it.
yeah, it's pretty cheesy, but say how to use it. That's sort of like
Creates a build up. And you don't need a track to be actually playing to
yeah, so you can just use it with any of those
using it.
channels and
Yeah. Yeah, and then also just filters the standard one which you would use when you're maybe mixing out to kind of cut out the top or the bottom ends. And yeah, it's kind of
that's
the
just
basics on it, eh?
basic effects, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
DJ Deluxe, will you please tell us what is up in Sydney?
Hi guys, I'm DJ Deluxe and welcome to this week's edition of What's Up on LeclubZ. Well, techno fans are sure to be very excited to hear there's news of expansion for well-established festival Awakenings to bring the festival to Australia in 2015. Awakenings already has a stage at this year's Stereosonic Festival, and the intention is to hit the East Coast first with a series of arena shows. Very exciting. In tour news, December will see the return to Australia of one of the most iconic hip-hop artists of all time, Ghostface Killah from Wu-Tang Clan. Performing at the Metro and boasting an amazing support lineup, this one is a must-see for all you hip-hop fans out there. New Year's events continue to be announced, with Spice Afloat recently releasing their lineup for their New Year's Day cruise. Boasting a huge lineup of international and local talent, with a very delicious lineup of underground house, including Space Dimension Controller, Nick Schwind, local superstar Murat Kilik, and many, many more. Grab your tickets fast, this one's going to sell quickly. Lastly tonight, my tune of the week is a cracker of a track by Zach Waters called Zenit. Packed with the best in Melbourne bounce, but also with a twist. Definitely has some ambient undertones in there, with Waters known for incorporating some trance elements in his tracks. Very sharp production and best listened to loud. So that's it from me, DJ Deluxe. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you on the other side.
It's come to that time in the show where we have to end it. But we'll be back next week, so make sure to stay wild and tune into LeclubZ. Also, your support is heavily needed for our Save Our Sydney campaign, so please check out www.leclubz.com and go onto our campaign page and sign up for the petition. Have a lovely night.